The World Bank and its sister organization, the International Monetary Fund, are very special organizations. They are sitting on top of the world's wealth, which was put into a secret account, and it has more gold than anybody knows about. And it is cloaked in secrecy. The bankers do not own that money. It's held in benefit for humanity. The World Bank and the IMF are listed on a special agreement that was signed in 1950 about that. Assets, it's gold. It's more gold than people know about. It's over 1 million metric tons of gold. And the World Bank and the IMF have a special role to play, making sure that that money is spent to the benefit of humanity.
So where's the gold? Some people believe that the gold in Fort Knox has disappeared. That's been in question for many years. Congressmen have attempted to get an audit of the gold in Fort Knox. So 1 million metric tons of gold is not something you can just hide. Where would you say that gold is being stored?
400,000 metric tons are in the Central Bank of the Philippines. There's over 200,000 metric tons in Union Bank of Switzerland. And some of that gold is buried securely in the Philippines as well. Some of it is held in various banks, but the bulk of it is in the Philippines.
So the World Bank holds the note on that gold?
No. It is in a special trust account that was set up by Ferdinand Marcos, and the authorized signatory is a German banker lawyer by the name of Wolfgang Struck, who also lives in the Philippines.
So how do the people get the gold back? If it's their gold and it was taken by these bankers, how do we receive it?
That is the question. And they're just sitting there illegally and refusing to relinquish it. Part of the problem is that this gold is cloaked in secrecy. But in the last month, Wolfgang Struck has been publishing all of the documentation. So it's there for people to see. We have the originals. And people just have to make sure that the banks do what they're required to do, which is release the world's wealth.
Contact Phoenix Journal Review. Independent confirmation of the Philippines gold.
Throughout the Spanish occupation of the Maharlika, members of the Tagayan Italiano clan have been visiting Europe since some of their relatives were English and Austrian. From 1866 to 1898, Prince Julian Maglio Italiano, who became titleholder of OCT 01-4 in 1864, had also been frequenting the Vatican. In 1934, under Pope Pius XII, the Vatican negotiated with a member of the Filipino royal family, the Christian Italiano clan in the Maharlika. An agreement was reached that 640,000 metric tons of the Italiano gold would be lent to the Pope. This was part of that gold accumulated by the Southeast Asian Srivijayan Majapahit Empire during its glorious reign of 900 years. In 1939, two members of the Italiano family and a Roman Catholic priest, Father Jose Antonio Diaz, brought the gold from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, to the Vatican. After doing this, Father Diaz went back to the Maharlika and resided in Cabanatuan City. After World War II, he facilitated the safe return of the 640,000 metric tons of gold from the Vatican to the Maharlika. Manuel Acuña Rojas, a relative of the Acuña Tagayan Italiano clan, then a congressman, and Bishop Enrique Sobrepena Sr., in the presence of attorney Lorenzo Tañada, received the gold in Manila. Having gained the trust and confidence of Father Diaz, the Italiano clan made him the main negotiator and trustee of their gold. Father Diaz, in turn, hired the services of attorney Ferdinand Marcos, then a highly recommended brilliant young lawyer, having attained notoriety when he successfully defended himself in the Nalundasan case in 1939. The Italiano clan paid commission to Father Diaz and attorney Marcos in gold, 30% from the principal of 640,000 metric tons. In 1949, The two richest men in the world were Father Jose Antonio Diaz and attorney Ferdinand Marcos. Between the two of them they legitimately earned and owned 192,000 metric tons of gold. Ferdinand Marcos withdrew their share of the gold from the central bank and minted it, RPCB. Sometime later, Father Diaz and Marcos brought their gold to Switzerland, in the Swiss Bank Corporation in Zurich. The remaining 400,000 metric tons of Italiano gold is in the third-floor basement of the central bank minting plant in East Avenue, Quezon City. Gold for gold, dollar for dollar, this country, the Maharlika, is the richest country in the world. During a talk show in a U.S. TV the week following the bombing of the New York Twin Towers, President Bush was asked this question, which is the richest country in the world today? With a smile he said, the Philippines.
On April 9, 1973, Marcos said, "My earthly goods have been placed in the custody and for the disposition of the Marcos Foundation, dedicated to the welfare of the Filipino people."
We're here on March 2nd, 2017 with Mr. Luis Yoyanko, who has an announcement basically for the world to do the implementation of what he was, as a child I understand, was given this initiative and this position to bring out the accounts for the purpose of humanity. So right now we're going to go ahead and get started. He's going to give what his mission and his divine purposes for the entire globe. Go ahead, Mr. Yoyanko. Thank you.
Now, this is my proposal, how to eliminate the global crisis and to eliminate all illegal activities, especially drugs, for all nations, and to reactivate all nations for their economic crisis. And the number one, we will restructure of loan of all nations, but we will all debts of nation back to zero. Then we will restructure of loan for the economic recovery of all nations. Then we will make a volume bank to support the crisis of the whole world also. Then this is the document, declaration of the demonetization of 72 currencies. Instead of the 72 currencies, we will push through the cashless account to eliminate all illegal activities. Then stop buying of all commodities because of oversupply, and stop buying, and then the restructure of loan for all nation, all accounts, and debts of nationwide should be back to zero. That is the most important. And we will have a
Getting into it, it's a declaration of demonetization of all 72 worldwide currencies. Stop buying of all commodities worldwide, especially AU, PT diamonds, and all kinds of boxes used for guarantee and backup to print currencies worldwide. To stop all kinds of trading or mirroring of GBC, BG, SBLC of any kind of bank instruments worldwide. All accounts and debts of all nations worldwide go back to zero after the total amount of declaration by all nations accordingly. Restructure of loans of all nations with 4% per interest per annum or yearly for maturity of 10 years, but the 30% is said for loans will be paid back by all nations by means of transfer or duplicating their different latest technologies in their country and implement them in the Philippines. And so, and the reasons why that you are going to demonetize or not allow the gold and then anything else to be sold is the oversupply, and then the infinite account and money should be used worldwide plus the global accounts, and then a bullion account will be constructed in the Philippines. Okay, give us an overview of how you were given this appointment.
This is appointment comes from him, because I'm very surprised that all assets and all these documents was on my custody now.
Yeah.
That's why I have also a book from all accounts worldwide. Then all accounts written in the book was already confirmed and verified by the UBS.
Confirmed and verified.
Confirmed and verified by UBS. Yearly, I have a copy of this book.
And these are the accounts.
Yeah. Listing of all accounts approved and confirmed by UBS. I have.
The ASBLP accounts, White Spiritual Boy accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. And you received this book by how? Who? The bank?
By sending us in different way. It was already come on my custody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and these are the banks. Bank of America, all the way around the world.
Yeah, all around the
That's
world.
a complete book.
Yeah.
And obviously signed off on by the heads of state.
Yeah.
And the specific people who are involved. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is the book of the accounts. Now you were, as a child, you said, given divinely purposed this mission.
Yes.
Okay, so give a quick overview of that, and we'll go step by step of how we are to today and your announcement.
And this is begin when I was newborn, because on the time there is no electric on our place. But my mother and my father did not use any lamp on my head, because there is a star and lights on my head, even there is a darkness. Even there is no light, my head is very bright.
And that was
Yeah.
at birth.
Yeah, since
Okay,
birth.
in which there's some codes and things that are all tied into all of this. Okay, so then you were appointed in your position in what year? 1983, 1986? What was the actual year?
1980s. More or less 1980s.
In the 1980s.
Yeah. But before that time, I'm the one on the area of the Lemuria. The stock or the bullion bank where we place the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're a cousin or somehow related to Marcos. Is that correct? Ferdinand Marcos.
My uncle is also a brother-in-law of F.M. Formerly, when
Okay.
they are still alive. But the keeper of the bunker was also relative of the old man.
Okay.
And I'm the one give a trust by the old man to hold the area and to control and to manage.
Okay. And that's Mr. Aguilera.
Yeah, Mr. Jaime Narvas Aguilar.
Okay. Next, the position of everything that is about to happen, the gold and everything else is under possession of yourself through Mr. Aguilera's
Yes,
ultimate control.
yes.
Give us the account number and the references that you had mentioned about 777 and how that system works and how all of that actually comes into play of what you described to me. If you can give me the account
Yes.
overview.
The mother account 003 UN 00330, it is also considered as a 77 account, because 7250 is when you get the 7, then the 25 is 7 and the 7. It means to say the 77 account and QN00330 is only one. All accounts 333-444-555-666-77-88899 and Alpha Omega was only one in one mother account now. That is the Queen of the Nation or QN.
So QN
Yeah.
dash 000.
Yes, the ASBLP account. The
A-
reference of all accounts worldwide now.
Okay.
That is the infinite account, and to support that is the documents and funds that we will use to support the recovery of the whole world.
Okay, very good. Okay, so then what other supporting documents do you have referencing the implementation that's about to happen?
Yeah. This is the approval since September 11, 2007 by the Perpetual Source of Malta Limited. The 1.8 million tons and the 7,000 metric tons of the Perpetual Source of Malta of HSBC London and Hong Kong.
Okay, so that's a certificate of
Yeah.
1.8 million
And this
metric
is,
tons and then 7,000 metric
And
tons.
this is the approval from Switzerland 2008. And it was already forwarded to HSBC New York.
Okay,
And this is the shield of 72 currencies, the E pluribus unum shield
okay.
with chips inside the shield. Yeah. And this is attached on my personal history.
Okay,
And this is the picture of Manong Jaime Aguilar, and my picture appear on these documents. And already signed that we are very willing to support the economic crisis of the whole world.
okay,
And this is the sketch of the Lemuria, or Lemuria, the octopus, or the lost city. This is the backup that we will use to support the economic crisis.
okay. And the backup is held in the octopus tunnel. Can you describe the octopus tunnel and what you explained to me earlier?
The octopus tunnel has 7 legs, and in the end of every 7 legs, there is another 7 area in every end of the legs. It means octopus is 8 legs, but it is only 7. And the head of the octopus is the number 8.
Okay, and that is the master tunnel
Yes, the master,
holding the
Yeah.
majority of the assets.
that is the main tunnel that we will use, and the holding the all assets. And this is the signature and sealed by the emperor that the tunnel is existing and real. The FA certification that the document is real and registered certification from the FA. And this is the another years that we declare it again. Complete documents. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the LOI,
Letter of instruction
letter of instruction
for redemption.
for redemption. Yeah. And it was
And that's
already
for
sealed.
this is the, what is this referencing in the
The
beginning?
letter of instruction,
For the Anbangaling Pupula.
yeah, ang bagong lipunan,
What does that mean?
ang new society.
Okay.
And this is the listing of different central banks worldwide,
Okay.
containing the how much metric tons that they have in every central banks.
Mm.
Yeah, it was also indicated here. All record and reference of all central banks
Central
worldwide.
banks worldwide. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
And this is the inventory of 1.8 million metric tons. Also, a stock from Lemuria.
Okay.
And this is the documents that the 77 account have. The secret book of redemption, QN00330, consider the mother account, or the 77 account. This is the original documents. And this is the signing of late President Marcos, being a holder keeper of the 77 formerly.
Okay.
And this is the agreement. And this is a bills of the ABL that they cannot use because the backup is still intact. Yeah, the 50, the 20, the 100, the 10, the 5, and the 2. And the agreement of general agreement of Ferdinand Marcos during the time and other nation in London.
Okay.
And this is the supporting documents
Mm-hmm.
of the 77. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And this is the code, the 7257. 7257 is considered also the 77. And the supporting documents.
Mm-hmm. Now this references Green Eagle Heritage
Yeah,
Foundation.
that is a Green Eagle Heritage Foundation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is complete. The inventory list,
Okay.
the gold bullion certificate, the general agreement, the certificate of deposit,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
the Lloyd's of London insurance,
Mm-hmm.
packing list,
Okay.
page 1, packing list page 2, packing list page 3, and the LOI of the projects with these funds. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the IMF certificate of these documents. And this is the microfilm
Mm-hmm.
of the 77 accounts or the UN 00330, the Holy Mother account of all accounts.
And this is the master of count of all accounts. Okay.
And this is the metal plate. Yeah. This is the certificate of entitlement, the bearer. Picture appear on this and is signed by late President Marcos and the First Lady.
Okay.
And this is the metal certificate of the 7,000 metric tons of HSBC London and Hong Kong, signed by 3 bankers here, and the fineness of 999.99,
Okay.
and with a total weight of 330 grams.
Okay.
That was written on the 24K of gold.
And you were looking to implement it how soon, my friend?
I want to implement this as soon as possible for economic recovery of the whole world, especially for the Filipino people in the Philippines. And we will put in a ultraviolet so we can see the original documents, the secret of the original documents. Yeah. this is the back of the documents that you cannot see this letter with your naked eyes. So we will put in ultraviolet to see what is the secret of these documents. If it is genuine, you can see the letters written on the back of the documents. Check and protect with a diamond sign and a star. All these documents is genuine and original. Yeah. And I am very willing to use this for economic recovery of the whole world, especially for the Filipino people, as soon as possible. We want to implement it in a very short time to eliminate the poverty, and we will use this backup for cashless account, so we can eliminate all illegal activities, especially in drugs and all gambling and all criminal cases. Because when there is no funds of cash money, there is no criminal and illegal activities happen, especially in drugs.
Yes.
Okay na.
Okay, well, very good. Is there anything else that you want to say at the end of this presentation, my friend?
I want this to be implemented as soon as possible for the Filipino people and the indigenous group, for all nations that have, and to support the global recovery activities and to infrastructure of different nations. That's why I'm very willing to return and back to zero all their debts and restructure of loan of all nations. I'm very willing for that.
Ang 2 dekadang pamumuno ni Ferdinand Marcos at ang pagpapatupad niya ng martial law ay isang hindi malilimutang yugto sa kasaysayan ng ating bansa.
I have proclaimed martial law in accordance with the powers vested in the President by the Constitution of the Philippines.
Ang People Power Revolution noong 1986 ang tumapos dito. Kasabay nito ay ang pagbaba sa pwesto ng mga Marcos at ang pag-exile ng kanilang pamilya sa Hawaii. 3 taon pa lamang silang namamalagi doon ay yumao na si Ferdinand dahil sa multiple organ failure.
How was the last hours of being with President Marcos during his dying
He was
moments?
giving me strength by saying, "Sweetheart, fear not. All our lives be committed on the side of the right. Like the sun will rise tomorrow, the truth will set us free."
Ang pagyao ng kanyang asawa marahil ang bumaliktad sa buhay ni Imelda. Siya ang sumalo ng halos lahat ng kaso na ibinabato sa kanyang pamilya. Karamihan sa mga kasong ito ay tungkol sa pagkamkam umano ng mga Marcos ng yaman mula sa kaban ng bayan. Taong 1990, naganap ang sinasabing Trial of the Century kung saang $1 milyong ang kinwestiyon kay Imelda sa kasong fraud at racketeering. Dito sa gym sa likod ng bahay nakatago ang mga dokumentong nagpapatunay raw na not guilty ang pamilyang Marcos tungkol sa questionableng mga kayamanan. Nakaayos ang mga ito na tila nakaabang sakali mang mga ilangan sila ng ebidensya anumang oras.
We're entering the documents of the trial of the century.
Oh.
Here. 170 banks that Marcos deposited money on. These are the 350,000 documents used against me. Now, all of that. All the mines, all the banks of the world, 170 banks of the world. And I have the bill of lading. And these are all U.S. government exhibit. All of this. Just to show you the bill of lading. How much is
$240 million. Oh my goodness. Is it million? Billion?
billion?
Billion? 240 billion?
Only one shipment. And these are plenty of shipments. And then 5 sketches. Lucia we started them, all of this. Meralco. 2,900 hectares, that greenfields, Alabang, that's all ours. I was going to build a satellite city for the poor. So, no, we are not the thieves. These are the people.
Mrs. Marcos, if we go by all of these, you are rich beyond compare.
No, this will save the world.
The world.
The world. This is the reason why I want to survive. And it's not for me anymore.
So, Mrs. Marcos, are you saying you're open to giving some or an amount of this one to the country, to the Filipinos?
No, not only the Philippines, but the world.
So, what are you waiting for before you can attain your intention?
With this now, we are tied our hands with the whole press saying we are magnanakaw. We are the magnanakaw, kami ang ninanakawan. We are the one who took it. Marcos suffered so much for this.
Ang naging depensa raw ni Imelda para maipanalo ang kaso, bago pa man raw naging presidente si Ferdinand, may mga ipong ginto na raw ito na lumaki ng lumaki ang halaga paglipas ng panahon.
When we started, it was $32 and then $35.
An ounce of gold. She's talking of gold.
Now, it's 1,300, 400, 500, 600, 800, nag-iiba-iba eh.
Iba-iba.
Ounce yan. And we are sitting on gold. You know, I won my case in New York on my 60th birthday.
I know, I was there. I covered you. And then you had a small party in that small Filipino pub.
Yeah.
You know, after the court, everybody went to that small Filipino pub. Punong-puno ng tao. Hindi ka makahinga. Kasi chest to chest na ang dami ng tao dun sa...
Nagkaroon ako ng
I
fun
remember.
Imagine, alone, widowed, orphan, first lady of a third country, winning the case of the century. Without a penny, I did not have one piece of document or one witness. I could not afford any of them.
Pero naghanda na ba kayo at that time, ma'am? May pinaghandaan na ho ba kayo? Na kung sakasakali, ako hindi ma-convict ako, were there already, wala?
I am resigned to whatever the Lord has planned for me. Anyway, I have always followed whatever they say about the good, the true, and the beautiful, and that is God being God made real. So I followed that path, and if you're in that path, you're in the path of God and the truth. Nobody can touch you. Can you imagine? I have now 986 cases, and all of them I won. And this case are not filed by individuals. They are filed by government and superpowers. And I have about 10 more, but I'm not afraid. I'm at peace with the truth.
Maging ang kanyang dalawang anak na sina Bongbong at Amy ay kapwa may pwesto ngayon sa gobyerno.
Mrs. Marcos, you have entered politics again, and so has your family. Senator Bongbong is in the Senate. We have Amy as the governor in Ilocos.
It's not for the honor or the pride. I've been first lady there and all of that on top of the heap for a long time. No, not for that. It is the privilege for be able to give, to love.
Do you foresee another Marcos in Malacanang?
Well, you know, I am only happy that my children, in spite of the fact that we have been so persecuted because of politics, the whole family, the children still love the Filipino people and the country. Believe na believe ako sa mga anak ko.
Gaya ng kontradiksyon sa bansag sa kanya na Iron Butterfly, ganon din marahil ang buod ng buhay ni Imelda. Parehas niyang natamasa ang kapangyarihan at prosekusyon. Parehas siyang minahal at kinamuhian. Ngunit sa kabila ng lahat ng ito, tulad ng isang paru-paro, pilit pa rin siyang lumilipad.
I did not have the privilege of interviewing Mrs. Marcos in New York because she was really so guarded. But now, I now have the privilege of doing it. Before I retire from my career,
And you are,
this
and,
will be my...
and you have the nerve to ask me shocking questions.
Are they shocking? Really? Were there shocking questions?
Some wouldn't dare.
Oh, really? Oh, but I think I would because I am coming
Anyway,
with a...
no,
I am
but okay,
coming with a very
because
clear
I believe in
conscience.
transparency. Anyway, I have
Oh.
nothing to hide.
Correct. Let me now thank you very much for this interview. It has been a real pleasure talking with you, and we wish you all the luck in the world for all the good intentions that you have for our people and our country.
Well, thank you. I need it. I need it because the Lord intended this to be paradise and to be there forever, and gave us His own image, each one of us, and be a great creator. And we can do so much. And that's why I'm praying that we can really fulfill, and it's doable.
If you say it's doable, it is doable.
It is doable.
Maraming salamat po.